It's a bright, sunny day outside one of the most famous royal palaces in the world. The streets are crowded with tourists snapping pictures and children running around excitedly, their laughter filling the air. The grand gates of the palace shine in the background, guarded by a tall, imposing figure in a bright red uniform and a large black hat. A royal guard stands perfectly still, his face expressionless, his eyes forward, not moving an inch. To most people, the guard is just part of the scene, an iconic figure in a centuries-old tradition. But to others, he's more than that. To some tourists, he's a challenge. They've heard stories about the royal guard's strict discipline and stoic nature. It's almost like a game to try and make them smile, move, or react in any way. As the crowd grows, a few tourists begin to test the guard's patience, mocking him with funny faces, loud noises, and playful gestures. They think they're having fun, but little do they know, something is about to happen that will turn their jokes into a moment they'll never forget. What happens next, however, will shock everyone involved. The royal guards are famous for their strict discipline and unwavering calmness. These guards are not just symbols of tradition, they are highly trained soldiers with a crucial job: to protect the royal family and the palace itself. Day after day, they stand at attention, no matter how loud the surrounding crowd gets or how many distractions come their way. Their mission is clear, and nothing gets in the way of their focus. The training is intense. The guards are taught to ignore everything: the flashes from cameras, the noise from passing tourists, and even the teasing or insults they may face. They stand tall, their faces stern, eyes forward, never breaking character. It's a matter of respect for their duty, and nothing is supposed to make them waver. On this particular afternoon, as usual, the guards are stationed in front of the Grand Palace gates. And some even try to get close, tapping the guards on the shoulder or making silly faces, hoping to see a smile or a reaction. But the guards remain unfazed, as stoic as ever. However, among the crowd, a group of young pranksters spots an opportunity to have some fun. They think they can make the guards lose their cool, but they're about to learn that messing with a royal guard is a dangerous game. A group of friends, clearly looking for trouble, decides to have some fun. They're young, bold, and full of energy. They see the royal guard standing still, and their first instinct is to test him. They start walking up, whispering to each other and giggling. One of them, Tommy, decides to take it up a notch. "Let's see if we can make him blink," Tommy says, pointing at the guard. The group agrees, thinking this will be an easy task. They start by walking up behind the guard, tapping him lightly on the back. The guard doesn't move, of course. Then, one of them, Mark, starts to make faces at the guard, pulling silly expressions to try and get a reaction. The other friends start to laugh, thinking it's all just a harmless joke. "Come on, man, smile," one of them shouts. But the guard stays silent, his face as calm and serious as ever. "I bet I can make him move," he says, smirking. And that's when things start to get out of hand. Tommy, with a mischievous glint in his eye, decides to take the prank to a dangerous level. He walks up directly in front of the royal guard, looking him straight in the eyes, and begins to make funny noises. Tommy hums, trying to get under the guard's skin. The crowd watches, some laughing, others beginning to feel uneasy. The tension rises as Tommy takes it even further. He steps closer to the guard and starts waving his hands in front of the guard's face, almost like he's trying to challenge the guard to react. But the royal guard remains calm, standing still as ever. This only pushes Tommy further. He whispers to his friends, "I can make him move, just watch." Then, Tommy does something that crosses the line. He takes a step closer and taps the guard on the shoulder, lightly at first, then a little harder, all the while smirking. The crowd gasps as the moment feels like it's about to explode. In that instant, something happens that no one expects. The royal guard, who's been silent and unmoving for so long, suddenly takes a sharp step forward. For a moment, Tommy doesn't know what to do. The royal guard, who was supposed to be calm and detached, his voice is strong, clear, and full of power. The crowd falls silent. No one can believe what they've just witnessed. The royal guard's calmness is shattered, and he is finally reacting. Tommy, stunned, takes a few steps back, but the guard isn't done. With the military precision only a royal guard possesses, he turns sharply toward Tommy and, without breaking eye contact, steps even closer. His eyes are intense, and his posture is fierce. "Do not touch me again," the royal guard commands, his voice unwavering. Tommy, who had been enjoying the prank, suddenly feels the weight of the situation. The prank that was meant to be funny has turned into something serious. The other tourists around them quickly start whispering, some pulling out their phones to capture the moment. But they also begin to sense the seriousness of the situation. The royal guard doesn't move for a moment, allowing his words to sink in. He stands tall, his chest out and his posture unyielding. The silence between them is deafening. For a second, Tommy considers apologizing, but the moment passes too quickly. Just as the crowd starts to murmur, a second guard approaches, having witnessed the entire incident from a distance. He walks quickly, his boots echoing on the pavement as he stands beside the first guard. You may not realize it, but you've crossed a line. Tommy and his friends stand frozen, their faces turning pale. The weight of the royal guard's authority is too much for them to handle. They realize they've made a mistake. The moment of fun has turned into a confrontation that they could have never predicted. A police officer arrives shortly after, prompted by the second guard's call. The officer asks Tommy and his friends to step aside. The tourists begin to disperse, murmuring to each other, some laughing nervously, while others are in disbelief at what they've just witnessed. "Next time, remember who you're dealing with," the officer says as he walks Tommy and his friends away. The royal guards are not to be taken lightly. They protect the most important people in this country. As the group walks away, they can hear the royal guards return to their posts, standing tall and proud. Tommy and his friends, now shaken and humbled, leave with a newfound respect for the guards and the serious nature of their work. They've learned a hard lesson. There are some things that shouldn't be messed with. Later that day, Tommy and his friends sit at a cafe, discussing what happened. They realized that their actions weren't just disrespectful, they were reckless. They had made fun of the very people who are trained to protect, people who take their duty seriously, not just for fun or for a laugh. "I never thought they'd actually react like that," Mark admits. "They're real people, doing an important job." Tommy nods, his face thoughtful. "Yeah, we messed with the wrong people. It's one thing to joke around, but it's another to cross the line. We've learned that the hard way." The group agrees to never pull another prank like that again, realizing the importance of respecting those who serve, no matter their job or uniform. The lesson of the royal guards will stick with them forever, reminding them that sometimes the most unexpected reactions come when you least expect them.